Hey guys, welcome back. So we're about 4 weeks from our last frost date and about 5 to 6 weeks from when we plan on getting everything into the ground, which means that we have to get everything started, and we're going to do a little bit of direct sowing as well. Today we're going to start by getting our seeds started. We've got our cucumbers, eggplants, and tomatoes, and then we have about 11 variety of peppers that we're going to start, both spicy and sweet.
All right, now let's get started. Each one of the trays will be started out the exact same way. First, we'll take our seed starting mix and we're going to add a little bit of water. We want this to be damp. We don't want it to be saturated. And we'll give it a nice mix. Now we're going to start packing the tray, and because we added water to the soil, it allows us to pack in the soil a little bit more, increasing the density of each one of the cells and giving the roots a little bit more to grab onto as they grow. I'm going to need 4 trays, so we're going to get them all packed in. Now we're going to plant the seeds and label each one of these cell columns. We're starting this one off with our Amish paste tomatoes. Next is our Gardener's Delight whole tomatoes. The next one I'm really interested in is our Glacier Bush tomato. This is a semi-determinate tomato plant growing about 30 inches tall, which produces early fruit and continues all season. And the last tomatoes are San Marzanos. Now we're going to top everything with a little bit of vermiculite. This will help keep in the moisture. Now we're going to wet it all down, make sure that the vermiculite locks in place, gives it a little bit of extra watering on top where the seeds are. We'll top it with a dome and then off to the heating mat and the lights. Well, next up is our cucumbers and eggplant. We're going to start off with our lemon cucumber. Then our Space Master. Next is our pickles. And then the Black Beauty eggplant. Now we have another row that we need to plant, and I think we'll throw in our Fratelli chilies.
This planting session we have mostly peppers, so we started out with one in the last tray. This one's going to be all peppers. We're starting out with our scorpion pepper, then our chocolate habaneros, then following up with our ghost pepper, red Scotch bonnets, lemon drops, getting sweet with our California Wonder bell peppers, and finishing off with 2 rows of sweet banana peppers.
Now moving on to our last tray, which we'll finish up with more peppers. Starting with 25 cells of jalapenos. First with our Megatron jalapenos and then our regulars. Then we have our candy cane chocolate cherry peppers. And lastly was an audible, our ancho grande peppers. That gets all of our seeds to current. We'll get everything under the grow lights and on the heating pads, and over the next couple weeks we'll be starting our herbs and our greens.
Checking on our garlic. It is starting to sprout. It is warming up. We're about a week or 2 away from removing all of the straw. Now we're going to start working on our direct sow, things that have to go in before the last frost of the season. So what we're going to do is I got a couple bags of Miracle Grow raised bed mix that we're going to be putting into this specific garden because Stony Island isn't open yet for the season and we can't go pick up our mulch or our compost for another couple weeks. So we want to get everything in the ground now, so we're going to start out by getting all this on. So in the bed, we've got our bunching onions that we'll be planting along the side, our shallots, and our yellow sweet Spanish Utahs. They'll probably extend over onto this side, and then we'll have our carrots, where we're gonna have our black nebula carrots and our Denver carrots. So the last little bit we're gonna get going is gonna be over here. I have one more bag of the raised bed mix. We're gonna put it over here and we're gonna start our peas. So our Sugar Daddy peas gotta get spaced about 2 inches apart, and each row is about 18 inches apart. I got enough here for about 2 rows. First trellis goes in. We plant along here. Now similarly, we planted here, about 18 inches, right about here. It's right on the edge. So what we're gonna end up doing, right along this trellis, which they'll grow on the inside here, or on the outside here, and on the outside here with nothing in the center. The idea is that as they grow up the vine and trellis up here, they get to be about 26 to 30 inches, which is about as high as this is gonna be. And if that's the case, they should stay right here, nothing in the middle, so we'll be able to pick from both sides and make sure we get everything. And since we're doing about 40 total 40 total pea plants, we should have an abundance of produce. Now we did pull a little bit more soil up, so the compost actually feathers out a little bit more, so we shouldn't have such a steep drop, so there shouldn't be too much runoff if it starts to rain. Guys, so that is it. Everything that needs to be planted before the last frost date is in the ground. We got our peas, our carrots, and our onions. After that, once our frost date gets closer, our last frost date, once we hit that, we've got a bunch of other things that are going to go into the garden. Our pole beans, we've got our okra, and I think 1 or 2 other things that are sow directly into the garden. And in the next week or so, we'll be heading out to Stony Island and picking up our compost and getting the beds all filled up as soon as we can, so when our last frost day hits, we can start our planting. If you have any questions or comments about what we got going on here today, or what our next steps are in our process of getting the garden set up, please leave them in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.